guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are all doing really well. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you my full face. If I can talk. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you my full face foundation routine for the summertime. Most of you guys know that I have really oily skin, and usually in my makeup tutorials, I don't have the opportunity to, well, I mean, I could have the opportunity because I'm editing them, but to keep my videos from being ridiculously long, I will usually speed through or kind of give you the abbreviated version of my face routine. But I know a lot of you guys have oily skin or want to just see my full face routine. So, or also to want to see like how I apply the products, like completely how I apply the products. So I decided today that I would film a video completely dedicated to my face and just show you how I apply the products, how I blend them out, what I use, what my favorite products are right now, especially for the summertime and this blazing hot climate and just temperature and all of that we have been having in the ATL. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe, and let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. Alright guys, so I am starting with a completely clean and moisturized face. As you can see, I did go ahead and fill in my brows just so that it's out of the way and I don't have to worry about it later. The very first thing that I'm going to do is apply my Clarks Botanicals Anti-Puff Eye Cream underneath my eyes. This is a product that I actually got in a BoxyCharm a while back, and I've literally just been using it ever since. And it just does a really great job of moisturizing underneath my eyes and also on top of my eyes, because I do tend to get a lot of dryness in that area, and if you make sure that it is moisturized before you apply products on top of it, then it'll help your products to go on much more smoothly. Alright, so next up, you guys already know I have to apply my primer water. This is by Smashbox. And as you can see, I just like to do 3 sprays just so that my whole face is covered. But I really like this. It really helps with prolonging the wear of my makeup. Definitely something that I recommend. And then after that, I'm going to apply my Benefit Professional Matte Rescue. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think that this product really does a ton for my skin. But since I have it, I do like to apply it just because I do think that it kind of gives you a little bit of extra moisture and just helps your makeup to go on a little bit more smoothly, but it's not a product that I think is absolutely necessary. Alright, so now that I've got that applied, I'm going to go ahead and move on to a few more primers. This one is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. This is just going to help to smooth out my pores and where I have fine lines and stuff like that. It's just going to help to fill them in. And then this primer is going to help with controlling the oil. So I did have someone ask me in a previous video or mention that they didn't realize that you could layer primers. Yes, you can layer primers. I am a huge advocate for layering primers because each primer that you apply to your skin is going to do something different for you. So like I said, with the Tarte one, it smooths. With the Becca one, that one is going to control oil. So I definitely recommend, if you have several issues that you're trying to address on your face, that you go ahead and layer those primers up, girl. Now, of course, you don't want to apply too much or too many, because then, you know, it can start to become cakey, and you do kind of have to play around and figure out which primers work best. This one that I'm applying right now, like I said, is the Tarte Smoothing Primer, and I just like to press this into my skin, into those areas where I have really large pores and fine lines, my laugh lines right here around the sides of my face, and then also up here just in the middle of my forehead. And then now I'm applying the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer, and I just apply it in the same places. Now with this primer, this one, I just literally tap and press, and I don't blend this one all the way in until it's completely dry. Like when I start feeling it get tacky, I just kind of press it into my skin. Otherwise it can start to kind of become a little bit crumbly. So once it kind of starts drying and I feel it getting tacky, I just press it into my skin, right into those areas you know, especially in my T-zone and on my cheeks, wherever I get the most oily. So next up, I'm going to color correct my under eye circles and also some of the dark spots that I have on my face. You guys have seen me do this tons and tons of times. I also have a full video showing you how I color correct. But I'm going to use my NYX Dark Circle Corrector as usual, and then my MAC Prep and Prime pen on my dark spots on my face, and just blend all of that out with my finger. Alright, so next up, now that I have all of my primers and color correctors down, I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation. You guys know how much I love my L'Oreal Pro Matte and my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundations. I use those all of the time, but I did recently go on vacation and I got a little bit of a tan, so those are a little bit too light for me. So since then, I have been using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Foundation, and this one is in the shade, I believe this is in the shade Caramel. But it says on the bottom, number 70, UC1, I don't think that's part of it. I think this is just number 70, and I think that this is the shade Caramel. I'm not for sure, but this is what it looks like. A lot of people don't know about this little hidden gem, but this is amazing if you have oily skin. So I've just been using this, and the way that I like to apply my foundations is I just take a little concealer brush like this, and I just squirt the foundation onto the brush and then just swipe it on my face exactly where I want it. And then today I'm going to go in with the Sigma Angled Kabuki F84 brush, which is an angled kabuki brush, to blend all of that out. Okay, so now that I've got my foundation applied, I'm going to go ahead and apply my concealer. I'm going to be mixing the Boo Boo Cover Up Concealer in the shade Medium and my Bare Minerals Stroke of Light Concealer. This is a concealer that I got in a Ipsy bag, I believe, and I've really been loving it. And then this one, you guys know, I use every single time I apply concealer underneath my eye. I always mix it with this. So to apply the Boo Boo Cover Up Concealer, I'm going to use that same concealer brush that I used to apply my foundation, and then I'm going to blend it all out with a damp beauty blender. And then also too, with the concealer, I do like to bring it on my eyelid just to kind of even out any redness that I have, or, you know, discoloration on my eyelid. And then I also like to bring the concealer right up to the edge of my nose, kind of creating like a straight line from the corner of my eye down to my nostril. And that's just gonna help to create a natural shadow and contour on your nose area. Alright, so now that I've got my concealer applied, the next step is to bake, and I'm going to be using my Sasha Buttercup powder. And basically what I like to do is take a dry beauty blender sponge and pick up the powder and then place it in the areas where I apply concealer. So the first thing that I like to do is just go in with my damp sponge and kind of smooth out any areas underneath my eye that may have creased, and then go right in with the powder and set everything in place. Okay, so as you saw, I just used pressing motions to apply the powder, you know, in all the places that I applied it. And then I'm also going to blend out my eyelid because my concealer tends to crease there. And then with whatever's left on the sponge, I'm not going to add anything extra. I'm just going to press it on my eyelid, and you can see that excess powder in the sponge just coming right out on my eyelid. And I'm just going to set my eyelid as well. Alright, so off camera, I did go ahead and apply my liner and lashes. I didn't do anything special with my eyes because, of course, this video is not about that. But in case you are wondering what I did use on my eyes, for my wing, I used the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. And then for the rest of my liner, I used this one by Gerard Cosmetics called the Eternal Eyeliner. And then for my lashes today, I used the Southern Butte lashes in the style Christie. So nothing special going on with my eyes, just wanted to add a little something since I will be filming a couple of other videos today, but those are the products I used in case you are interested. So I did that all while my powder situation was baking. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dust off the excess powder using this powder brush, or any powder brush that you have, honestly, will do. But this one is the Real Techniques powder brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and dust all of that excess powder away. Alright, so now that I've got that excess powder dusted away, I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Dark. And I like to use this not only to set the rest of my face, but sometimes when you're baking, you can kind of start to like wash out your natural complexion. So I like to go back in with this and just kind of bring back a little bit of my color and just make sure, you know, that I don't look ghostly, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to press this on all of the areas where I did not bake, and then also kind of run it over those areas where I did bake, just to make sure that everything blends really nicely. Alright, so next up I'm going to go ahead and contour, and I have tons of products that I love to use to contour. If you watch my videos, you'll see different products that I use to contour my face. But today I wanted to share a drugstore product with you guys that you may or may not have heard about, but it is bomb, especially if you are a woman of color. But there are, you know, two options that you can choose from, a light to medium and a medium to dark, which is what I have. But this is a contour palette by the brand Black Radiance. And on the inside there are 2 contour shades and 1 highlight shade. Today I'm going to be using the 2 contour shades, and what I like to do is just dip my brush, and I'm using the Luxie 512 small contouring brush, and I literally just dip my brush back and forth between the two. Not too much in this dark shade, because since my complexion isn't super dark, I don't want to go too dark on my contour. So I kind of use mostly this Sculpt shade, but I do dip a little bit into the contour shade. I'm going to tap off the excess, and then what I'm going to do is contour right in the hollows of my cheek area, and just kind of brush that product right back and forth from the top of my ear, kind of coming down to the corner of my mouth. And then I'm also going to apply this on my temples and just kind of blend it down right into my hairline. And the whole point of this is just kind of to sculpt your face and help create the illusion of a more like structured face. So you can really do as much or as little with this as you want. If you don't want something super precise, you can use a bigger brush. I just wanted to use this one today, and of course this one, since it's a smaller brush, it's going to give you a more sculpted look. But you know, you just want to make sure that it's all blended out nicely and it doesn't just look like a harsh line anywhere. So I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side of my face, and you can already see on this side it just looks much more sculpted compared to this side, which is much more flat. And I'm also going to run it along my jawline, which is optional if you don't want like a super sculpted face. I don't do this every day, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to show you all of the steps. And then I'm also going to run it down the sides of my nose to contour my nose a little bit. Just a little bit, nothing major. Alright, so contour is done, and next up I'm going to go ahead and apply my highlighter. Today I'm using this one by Lorac. This is the illuminating highlighter in the shade Twilight, and I'm going to be using this fan brush by Sedona Lace. This is the FB01 fan brush, and it's one of my favorite because it just places the product and blends it out all in one. So right on the high points of my cheekbones, I'm just going to pop on that highlighter and a little above my brow. And you guys can see how bomb this highlighter is. If you don't have it, I definitely recommend that you pick it up. They have, I think, 4 different shades, and I plan to pick up a few more of them because, as you can see, they are gorgeous. Alright, and the last step for the face today is blush, and I'm going to be using a new favorite of mine, which is also by Black Radiance, and this is in the shade Toasted Almond. It's a really beautiful, kind of brownish cranberry shade, but on the cheeks, it just comes off really soft and just like a really nice flush of like a toasted kind of cranberry shade. I don't know how to describe it, but it is so pretty. And the formula of it, it just glides on the skin so nicely, and you can also build it up or of course leave it more sheer, but it's just so pretty. I have been wearing this like every day lately, and I am obsessed with it. And this brush, by the way, is by SL Miss Glam Beauty. This is her blush, either the blush brush or the powder brush, I'm not sure. I never use brushes for what they're supposed to be used for. So this one I think is the powder brush. I think the blush brush is a little bit smaller, but I like kind of a bigger brush to apply my blushes because it just helps to blend them, apply and blend them out all at the same time. And I'm kind of going ham with this blush situation right now, but I just love this color so much. Alright, so now that I have my blush on, that is going to complete this face routine. So I'm just going to apply a lip product, and then I'll be right back to end the video. Alright guys, so my lippy is on. I decided to go with a nude, obviously. What else is new? But I lined my lips with Hover Lip Liner by MAC, and then I used this, I think it's called a Velvet Lip Cream or something like that from NARS. This is a new product by NARS. I've been obsessed with this color. It's beautiful. It's like a perfect everyday nude, but it's in the shade Overheated. So this is a new lippy by NARS. So yeah, that's what I decided to put on my lips. And that pretty much completes this video. So I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing my full face foundation routine for the summertime. And for the most part, this is my foundation routine all year round. I just kind of changed some of the products that I use on my face in the colder months if my skin is kind of a little bit drier and doesn't need as much of a heavy duty oil control. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know down below in the comments if you use any of these products yourself to help control your oil or help to keep your makeup looking flawless all day long. Oh, and one other thing too, my makeup setting spray, I didn't mention that. I have been using the makeup setting spray by Scandinavia. This one is the bridal makeup setting spray, and I also have the oil control one, but I've been loving these also once my full face is done to set my makeup. So I think that that's all that I have to share with you guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. And I will have all of the products I use listed and linked for you down below in the description bar as well. So definitely make sure to check that out. I make it really, really easy for you guys to find all of the products that I mentioned in my videos in the description, linked for you down below. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Thank you so much again for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.